Today we'll be covering the minor scale and how it is generated from the major scale, and I'll give you some patterns to work through and some homework to develop after that. So the minor scale is generated from the 6th degree of the major scale. And if we go back, as we always do, to our C major scale, and we remember that we have 7 degrees within that scale, think of it this way: you can build a new scale that has 7 notes before it starts over again at the 8th note from any one of those 7 degree pitches. So when we get to 6, that there is 6, which is A in the key of C. If we start our scale here, start on A, the 6th degree, that gives us a new scale. I'll just drop it down an octave and start it here. That gives us the minor scale. So we've repositioned the starting point of our scale to 6, and you call that now the root, and that gives us the minor scale. Okay, so if we are developing new scales from each one of the degree numbers embedded within the major scale, and for now that's just going to be starting on 6, but we could do it from 2, could do it from 3, we will do it from 2, 3, 4, and 5 much later. For now it's just 6. We have to keep in mind that this is an asymmetrical scale. With 7 degrees and 2 half steps in there somewhere, it ends up a little lopsided. There's no exact middle to any one of these scales, and certainly no symmetrical middle. So each one of these scales is different and unique from one another. So we have to talk about the reconfiguration of the whole steps versus half steps. So if we're starting on 6 and calling that the root, but all the whole steps and half steps are still locked in and married to the original version that we take from the major scale, we get a new assignment of whole steps versus half steps. So the one for minor is going to be whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. So that's going to give us a new pattern, and let's just go ahead and not relate this all the time back to the major scale. Let's start talking about this as its own unique identifiable scale, the minor scale. And let's assign it new degree numbers, because if we're going to call this scale as a scale starting on its own root, let's go ahead and say that's 1. So let's call this C minor now, and assign it new degree numbers. 1, or the root, goes to 2, and just observe the diagram here for help. Flat 3, this is a first finger stretch, and just a note on that in a second. 4, 5, flat 6 again with a first finger stretch, flat 7, 1. Those are our degree numbers. So here's the note on first finger stretches. If we're playing everything in position playing, that is, each finger gets a fret, well, occasionally we have to jump over here by 1 half step with the first finger. It doesn't draw the whole hand out of position. It's a first finger stretch that moves temporarily over and then back. So that happens when we get here, and that's flat 3, and then here that's flat 6. So again, degree numbers with the finger stretches. 1, whole step up to 2, half step now to flat 3, whole step up to 4, whole step up to 5, half step now falls here to flat 6, whole step to flat 7, whole step up to the root. Descending, that comes out to root, whole step down to flat 7, whole step down to flat 6, half step down to 5, whole step down to 4, whole step down to the finger stretch at flat 3, half step down to 2, and whole step returning us back to the root.